Hey everyone, welcome back to another ham radio video. BenQ was very kind to reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to review the speaker you see before you, which is the TreVolo U Crystal Clear Desktop Dialogue speaker. And while I was looking at its uses, they say it's used as an accessory to listen to radio, like ham radio, CB radio, shortwave radio, talk radio, and scanners. You could use it also for that. And I've got to say, I've been very impressed thus far using the speaker with a variety of different radios. And later in the video, we're going to be doing all the audio samples with the speaker so you can see how this can enhance your listening experience with the radios. Okay, so the TreVolo U speaker is designed to elevate human voices while cutting down on background noise. It can be used for music, online learning and listening, to ham radio, CB radio, shortwave radio, and scanners. This video, however, is primarily going to be focusing on using this speaker for listening to radio, and how with its TreVolo voice engine it can greatly enhance your listening experience and help alleviate your listening fatigue. So what is the TreVolo voice engine? The TreVolo voice engine is what we might call in the ham radio world DSP, or digital signal processing. The TreVolo voice engine chip strengthens the vocal or human voice sounds, enhancing clarity and pronunciation. It basically pulls out the human voice while enhancing it and elevating it over ambient background sounds and noises. Now, before we get to the video audio samples and how this relatively small speaker can enhance your listening enjoyment for radio, like ham, CB, shortwave radio, talk radio, and scanners, I will go over the speaker's design and specs. So a lot of this stuff I'm going to be putting on the screen as I talk about it, just to let you know. So up on the screen now, you're going to see the speaker breakdown, and I have it A through G. So A is the TreVolo voice engine chip. B is the high quality microphone. C we're going to be talking about here shortly. D, the duo drive speakers. E, the acoustic echo cancellation, and F is the one-piece cabinet design, and G is the customized passive radiator. Okay, so on the screen, the design of the speaker. The speaker is designed at a 12-degree elevation to align the speaker with the listener. So it's designed basically to be on a tabletop, and it's designed at a 12-degree angle to angle it towards you, making your listening experience obviously a little bit better. Okay, the duo driver speakers. They're made of unique materials for a 30% higher volume. The tweeter is separated from the mid-range woofer for high quality balanced sound. Okay. The passive radiator is the passive bass radiator is also, I'll put that on screen here. So you'll see that. So the TreVolo voice engine. I'm going to have two slides here. The first slide here is just to see it's designed to replicate human voice and make it clear. And on the slide number 2 here, it can clarify differences in male and female voices, offering clean and easily understood speech. Okay. The microphone, this does have a built-in microphone. However, you won't be able to use it to transmit on ham radio. But this is for the learning side, or perhaps video conferencing. These kinds of things, perhaps even what do you call that? FaceTime if you're an iPhone user, or what's the other one? I can't think of the name. Where you do video conferencing calls, you could use a speaker for that too. So anyway, it has a microphone, an ECM microphone, which stands for electric condenser microphone, and it has a parabolic design combined with noise reduction and echo cancellation. And the speaker mic, as I just said, can be used it's compatible with Apple or Android devices for Siri and Google Assistant. All right, key specs here about the speaker. You have Bluetooth 5.0. It's good for 10 meters or 32.8 feet. It has an audio input for a 3.5 millimeter audio input cable, which is what we're going to use with the radios here. It's USB-C rechargeable, and it has a lithium-ion battery, which is good up to about 12 hours of playback. Now, this is going to vary depending how loud you listen to it and so forth, so just keep that in mind. And it's got a combined output of about 15 watts of speaker output, okay? Now, I was a little confused when I was looking up the specs because some of them said it was 10 watts, some said it was 15 watts, and I saw on the side of the box it said two 10-watt speakers, which in my mind would be 20 watts. But after reaching out to BenQ just to clarify this, they do say it's 15 watts. Okay, speaker dimensions. It's not a huge speaker. It's a little big, but it's not terribly big. So real quick, the specs here as far as its size, you got 174 millimeters or 6.85 inches in length, 81.4 millimeters deep or 3.2 inches, and 95.3 millimeters or 3.75 inches in high. And its weight is 731.5 grams or 1.61 pounds. So it's not a terribly heavy speaker. It's not terribly large. So it's probably pretty travel friendly. It does have what you call a safe volume feature, and I'll have that on the screen here. The speaker detects distance of user from the speaker, volume from surroundings, and input audio volume, and it adjusts it automatically. Mainly for online learning and perhaps for video conferences. It does have the capability of true wireless stereo. Now, I don't see that this would work with listening to radios just because you're going to be putting the audio input into the 3.5 millimeter jack in the back. But if you had two of these speakers, you could use them and they would connect through the app. There is a TreVolo U app, which I'll be talking about here shortly. But you do have capability of true wireless, but you can pair two of these speakers together and you could have stereo output through the app, the TreVolo app. Okay. Now, the TreVolo U app. It's available on Apple and Google Play. And I'll put some screenshots up here. You can see the battery level. You can select the sound modes. You can adjust the volume, safe volume, and you can also detect environment. You can make custom sound profiles with this. I might be showing this on screen now, but you can make a custom sound profile, which basically adjusts for how you hear things, and it will basically, you'll go through this series of things on the app, and it will basically adjust the speaker to how you hear things. So possibly making a better listening experience for the individual users, which is pretty neat. Let's see what else here. This is capable of having firmware updates. In fact, I did update the firmware yesterday for the speaker, and I have not had a chance to test the speaker out listening to the radios just yet with the new firmware, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. Let's see. Speaker overview. So we're going to go over the buttons real quick. This is also on screen here. So number one is a sound mode, and you have three different sound modes. You have what you call music, video learning, and live learning. Button number 2 is for the safe volume if you want to use that. Buttons 3 and 4 are for the volume up and down. Number 5 is for Bluetooth pairing. Number 6 is the power button. And let's see here. Number 7 is the microphone. Number 8 is the distance sensor. And 9 is the voice control LED. So there is actually an LED inside the speaker that lights up as you're doing certain things. I'm going to put this back on the screen here. Speaker modes. So this speaker has 3 different speaker modes. One, music. If you want to listen to music from your device, your phone or whatever, you can. Video learning. This is mainly for, again, if you're a distance learner and you're using the computer or whatever to do online learning, this speaker is specifically designed for that. And then you have what we call live learning. Now this is the mode you're going to be using, or we're going to be using for the radio. It's the best mode. Again, I've tested this speaker so far. I've been very excited with the results of what this little speaker can do. And it does just that, like I said previously in the opening of the video. It basically elevates the human voice raising it up, and then cutting back on the background noise and static and these kinds of things. So it's basically like a noise reduction speaker that you can hook to any radio. So it's pretty darn neat. So anyway, let's go back to the desk here, and I'm just gonna show you the speaker here. Hopefully my autofocus is gonna go with me. You can see we just went over the buttons on top. Okay, this is your this is how you select music, video learning, or live learning. And like I said, live learning is what you're going to be using to listen to the radios. This is your safe volume button. You got your volume button down and up, Bluetooth, and your power button. And there are LEDs on here that show you the level of power. So I'll put it on the screen here, what those are, just so you know what those are. So let's take a look at the side of the speaker. Again, it's designed at a 12-degree angle to angle it towards the user. You got the back of the speaker. This is the port. This is where you're going to get to the USB-C charging port and to put in the audio cable, a 3.5 millimeter audio cable. Okay. And it does say BenQ there. Hopefully my autofocus is doing good. It's got a nice rubber foot pad. So this whole bottom part piece right here is like a rubber foot pad. So it's very nice, very grippy. It's not going to slide anywhere. I mean, you can put it on top of your radio probably pretty easily. You want to do like this. I'm probably bumping the camera as I'm doing this. But so you can put it on top of your radio or put it on your desk. And again, it's not going to slide around, which I like. I like that. Let's go ahead and show you what you get in the box with this before we do the audio samples, which I'm sure you can't wait to see. So first you're going to get the a USB-C cable for charging and also for updating firmware with a computer. You can update the firmware on an Apple or a Windows computer. So if you want any information about that, there will be links in the description so you can check that out. You do get the power adapter for your USB-C cable. You do get a 3.5 millimeter audio cable. You get a quick start guide. You also get some kind of notice. Not sure what this is. It's in a different language. Same with this. And you get your regulatory statements. And you get probably another quick start guide, but it's in, I believe, Mandarin or Chinese. So anyway, that's what you get in the box. Now, enough of all that. I know you guys are excited and looking forward to the audio samples and how this speaker sounds or enhances your listening experience with radio. And I'm going to be testing it with the Icom 7610, which you see in front of you. I'm also going to be testing it with the Icom 7300, which you see up here. I'm also going to be testing it with the CB radio, and we're going to be testing it also in the Icom 705. Not going to worry about using it on VHF, UHF radios because typically the audio and the signals is pretty clear. So I don't imagine you'd need this to use a speaker for that, for a noise reduction type scenario. But you could use it to amplify the voice if you wanted to, if you have a VHF, UHF dual band radio or whatever, and you wanted to have a separate speaker for this, you could definitely use the TreVolo U speaker for this. So anyway, any links and purchases links or any coupon codes or anything like that will be in the video description. Like I said, I'm doing this video because I've been very impressed thus far with the speaker, and it's how it enhances your listening experience to listening to radio. So I think you guys will find it very impressive, and we'll be talking about the speaker a little bit more down the road. I might actually do a separate video of the speaker, and I'm not going to spoil as to why I would make a separate video for the speaker, but I think you're going to like it. But anyway, enough of me yapping. I'm sure you can't wait to see, or I should say hear, how this speaker sounds on the air, and how this can definitely be probably a great accessory to your ham shack and possibly portable operations. So anyway, with that said, let's get into listening to the audio speakers and how this speaker does perform. Okay, this is the first audio clips we're going to do. We're going to be doing them with the Icom 7610 here, which you see in front of you. I have the light on behind me. It's kind of putting the glare on the screen, but I'll be turning it off soon. It'll be a much better picture as far as looking at the radio. But I wanted to explain and just show you a few things before we start doing all the audio samples. So this is obviously the speaker, the TreVolo crystal clear desktop dialogue speaker. For now on, I'm just going to see the TreVolo speaker. It's a less to have to say. I wanted to explain these LEDs on the power button. I didn't explain them earlier. So if you see a red LED when you plug in the USB-C charging cable, that means red means it's charging. When you see a green light, it means it's fully charged. You have 3 white LEDs. So the first, if you just see one white LED, that means the battery is between 0 and 33%. 2 white LEDs, batteries between 34 and 67%. And if you see 3 white LEDs, batteries between 68 and 100%. So that explains that. This is where you switched from the different modes. So right here is the button for this. Right now it's in music mode, which means the LED is off. If I click it once, it goes into what you call video learning. And the third one is the one we're going to be using for radio, which is live learning mode. This means it's going to be flashing, the LED is going to be flashing, which means it's in live learning mode, and it's using the TreVolo voice engine chip, okay, to elevate the human voice on radio while lowering the background noise. So very useful there. Most of the time we're going to be starting out in music mode. I do have 2 microphones right now I'm using one for myself so you can hear me. Turn this light off, it's a little too bright. And I have one right next to the speaker so you can hear the speaker audio output. Right now the radio is muted. Again, we are in music mode at the moment on the speaker, so it's just gonna, as if it was a normal speaker, if you put audio out to a normal speaker, this is what you normally hear. I'm going to unmute the radio. We're going to find the signal here. So we should be hearing the static because we're not actually on the signal at the moment. Let's find the signal here. And they're there for a moment. They're there and they're not there. Let's find another one. Okay, we're still in music mode.
One more time, kind of in the weeds.
Video learning. And now live learning mode.
Okay, that's Whiskey Sierra 8 Romeo QFL. And what park are you in?
Sounds like a POTA or soda activation.
Roger, 7849. 44 and a 1940.
Signal's kind of weak. It's only like an S2, S3 at times. I'm going to try to find a little bit stronger signal, mainly just so you can, the audio is not cutting down and lowering out. So let me adjust and find another one here.
130-foot wire, but I don't ever try to tune it up or anything.
We're still in the video live, live learning mode, so we're going to go back to music mode.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. Very kind. I'm back.
This is music mode.
They both
video learning.
On them, so it doesn't make much difference. Really happy with this radio, I'll tell you. It's really great. I put an ATAS 120 on my car. I had an ATAS 100 and I broke
signal,
it.
S4.
And started acting up about 2 weeks ago.
You can still hear the noise in the background, but you can see the human voice is elevated and lifted out of the background noise a bit. This is what the power of the BenQ speaker here does.
I don't mean to monopolize it. Oh, geez, I didn't know there was a neck on. I apologize on that. Well, anyways, yeah, great sound.
Let's go back to music.
EX10 is highly regarded for sure. So, anyways, thanks for coming
video
back
learning.
I hope I got that right on your KE8
live learning mode.
I believe it was from KC1 FES.
You see how the
Steve, have a great rest of your day.
The audio transmission, the voice went up for sure.
Yes, you got the call sign correct there, Peter, and thank you again. I have rum log here on my iMac, and I put you in there. I love the map that shows me with a pin where everybody is. It's contact.
Hey, we're back to music mode. Let's find another signal here.
Have a good day and take care.
There's someone there for a moment.
I've been down there before.
Pretty weak signal.
That car place where they have all those old cars, and I think you were there too. But
Video learning. Live learning.
Weather's not real good up here right now, and I'm getting things kind of lined out. I got to meet with my insurance lady today on my home and my automobile insurance policies and see what I can do there.
Not a very strong signal, about an S3.
That and see what happens. But anyways, yeah, back to you there, Joe. WAKDM, KB7RGN.
KB7RGN, WKDM, okay. And hope you're successful with getting your
music mode.
Insurance rate
Video
lowered
learning.
a little bit. Mine is due
Back to live learning
to the 11th of November, and I've run 2 cars in the house. So I'll be going over and taking care of that. Now around here, a lot of places closed.
You definitely hear as voice is elevated, it's much more clearer to hear.
Every time I want to go there, that's
Let's go back to music mode.
And it's up where I came from, up in Ohio. That's unheard of. You know, to shut the doors and everything.
Video
so
learning.
They can all have lunch together. Back to you. KB7RGN.
Live learning.
W8KDM.
W7GJB.
Good morning, Gordon. Stand by.
We got a local restaurant. You never know when they're closed.
Still in live learning mode.
In the morning and they're closed. And it's that way all over up here. You go to Mile City or Billings, there's places up there that sometimes they're open, sometimes they're not. So I really don't know what's going on, but it's not good. Over.
Okay, real good. W7GJB. Gordon, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. Good to hear you this morning. You sound like you got a whim out of a cold.
Okay, I went ahead and muted it. I'm trying to find a signal where they're talking relatively steadily, so you can hear the differences between the music mode, the video learning, and what we're most interested in this video, the live learning mode, which is great for ham radio, CB radio, and other radios. So I'm going to be tuning around. We're going to be doing some more audio samples. I just want to give you a heads up that that's what I'm trying to do. I am trying to use it with some weaker signals and some stronger signals. But again, I'm trying to have it where someone's speaking pretty steadily so I can switch back and forth and you can definitely hear the differences. So we're going to be doing that more going forward here in further clips. Okay, another clip here with the Icom 7610. We'll be doing some clips with the Icom 7610, then we'll be going to probably the 7300, the 705, the CB radio, and perhaps a scanner. So anyway, let me unmute it, the 7610. And right now we are in music mode on the BenQ TreVolo speaker. There were some guys talking here just a moment ago, so let's see if they come back here. Might actually try some CW too here.
But just their Optimum voice, their phone, and their Optimum internet. $169 a month. Verizon, they're charging us $79.
Video learning.
It was a no-brainer in my book.
Live learning mode. Mode for radio. May only be picking up one side of the conversation.
Okay, that reminds me, I got to get in my trailer. Our trailer came with Insignia
We're
Fire
still in
Stick TV.
video,
And
or
you
I'm
have
sorry,
to
live
have an
learning mode, which
internet
you want to use for radio.
connection in order to be able to use them. And not every campground has internet connection, so we're going to sell them and then go buy just 2 smart TVs.
Music. Wait till someone comes back to you talking.
So that's the whole thing. We do have some campgrounds. We have
Video
an
learning.
extender, or I use my phone as a hotspot because we
Live
have
learning
unlimited service, and we do that instead. Yeah, but we found out, unfortunately, we couldn't even get the campground cable system.
Music.
That we were at in August because of this
Video
stupid
learning.
TV. It wouldn't scan for cable. It only looked for
Live learning mode.
internet. And then from that, it was just a pain in the
You hear it takes a moment for the chip to adjust everything. It takes a fraction of a second or so, or a second, and then it
smart TVs
starts doing its thing. So.
Huh?
Okay, I'm going to tune around and see if we can find some other
I
signals
think that
here.
was an innuendo joke.
Do their own thing.
Okay, here's a weaker signal. We're about S3, pumped to an S4. Right now we're in music.
I think we did New Year's last year.
Video learning mode.
Our Christmas on New Year's Day. So,
Live learning mode for radio.
I believe it was on Sunday, so whatever. Yep, so you're sounding good, Bill. I hope you're doing all right.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing okay. A little apprehensive yet.
Music.
Gonna see when the first treatment starts.
Video learning.
They called the other day and they wanted to get started on it right away.
Live learning.
My daughter's the driver and she's gonna leave for 3 weeks. So I may have to wait till after she gets back.
Somewhere between S4, S5.
Once they get it started, like I said, the day before Thanksgiving, what a day to start on that. It's all going to begin for
All right,
sure.
let's see if we can get a CW signal here.
That's what
Okay, found a CW signal here. We are in CW mode. Right now we're in music mode. Video learning. Live learning mode. So this little BenQ TreVolo speaker definitely brings up the audio on the CW signal as well. So that's pretty awesome since it's mainly geared for human voice. Filter 3, filter 1. All right, let's try another one here. A couple signals in here. Music mode. Video learning. And live learning mode. Definitely a difference. Music mode. Video learning. Live learning. Filter 2. Filter 3. And no activity at the moment. All right, one more time. Music. impressive. Pretty impressed with the CW coming through the TreVolo speaker in live learning mode, the same way we'd use for talk or voice. All right, let's see if we can check out the 7300 with the same speaker here. Okay, we're listening to a POTA station. Just so you know, what I'm doing is I have the BenQ speaker just above the Icom 7300, and I have my microphone between the BenQ speaker and the Icom 7300 speaker. And right now we are listening to the Icom 7300 speaker.
CQ Parks on air, CQ Parks on air, Kilo 4, Delta Echo calling CQ.
And then I'm going to go to the BenQ speaker, which is already in live learning mode, which you use for radio.
CQ Parks on air, Kilo 4, Delta
BenQ.
Echo calling CQ Parks on air, standing by.
Kilo India 5, uniform X-ray Romeo.
Kilo India 5, uniform X-ray Romeo. I've got you 5-9 plus 10 here today, North Jordan, Mark.
Hey, roger that. You're a 5-9 in Mobile,
7300.
Alabama. Thanks for the activation in 7-3.
Roger, thanks for Mobile today, and I've got the log, 73.
BenQ.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Delta Echo for Parks on air. CQ Parks on air, CQ Parks on air, Kilo 4, Delta Echo calling CQ Parks on air, standing by.
7300 speaker.
CQ Parks on air, Kilo 4, Delta Echo calling
BenQ
CQ
speaker.
Parks on air, CQ Parks on air, CQ Parks on air, Kilo 4, Delta Echo. CQ Parks on air, CQ Parks on air, CQ Parks on air, Kilo 4, Delta Echo calling CQ Parks on air.
And back to the 7300 speaker. We're going to tune around here and see if we can find our station.
Japan Alpha Zulu. Good morning, David. You're sounding good.
Pretty strong signal. This is a net. Still in the 7300 speaker. Signal very weak right now.
Well, I understand the fighting with the government. That's it. That's pretty easy
BenQ.
to do. I hope you win. Go ahead.
Still in the BenQ speaker. He's very weak, an S1 maybe at the most.
I remember probably about 40 years ago, maybe 50 years ago, my father, he was a World War II veteran.
7300.
He went to the VA, I think it was in Nashville, and he said, never again, never
BenQ.
again. I'll pay for everything. Go ahead. Well, it really means a lot. You know, you're keeping us free. Go ahead.
7300 speaker. We'll tune around a bit here. I had a signal. I think I lost one. Still in the Icom 7300 speaker.
Yeah, sometimes I think global climate change is doing that. They're making the hurricanes hit further north. Yeah, well, you know, they were just...
Still in the BenQ speaker.
Oh, yeah. I remember we were like that in St. Thomas as well. You'd see those things and they would sort of beeline right towards you, and you'd make all
7300.
the preps and everything, and then, you know, they'd get 400 or 500 miles away, and then they'd start
BenQ.
turning. But that's what would always catch you by surprise, was sometimes they wouldn't turn, and they'd come right at you. They turned anyway, so yeah, we were around the ship was actually
7300.
One of those supercharged lemonades. Yeah. And Panera Bread is in trouble.
Thank you.
Oh, it's all over the news. It's like that guy in Maine, the shooter in Maine.
Oh, what's going on?
What's a crippling? Oh, yeah, guys talk. Oh, no, several people were talking plus Ben. Ben, you're going to get a reputation. I know, I got to watch out. That's still number 2.
7300.
Been on a roll lately, Ben.
He's going to get a reputation like Bill.
BenQ.
Like that shooter up in Maine.
Well, anyway, is it clear?
Clear.
All right. Anyway, there's a gal that had a heart issue, a known heart issue, and she had to avoid caffeine. And she went into, Panera, and they have a charged lemonade that's over
7300
there
speaker.
with the,
Is this a recheck?
Am I still on
Still in the 7300.
Still the same period, over?
Roger. Over the same one.
BenQ.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll be listening. I thought it changed AA1SS.
Roger. No problem whatsoever. Enjoy talking with you. Not a bit of a problem. So Alpha
7300.
1 Sierra. You're number 14 on the log this morning. And we
BenQ.
appreciate you coming back and saying hi. Clear with Alpha 1 Sierra. This is WABS Tennessee. Please come to the YL system.
Okay, we're looking at the Icom 705 here. Adjust the camera a little bit. Right now I have the volume down. I have my microphone equal distance between the 705 speaker and the BenQ speaker, which is right next to it. Right now we are listening to the 705 speaker. Go ahead and turn it up here. My cat is exploring a bag behind me, so.
Got that. UR55 here in Park. Kilo 0716. Over.
Okay, again, we're on the 705 speaker.
Thank you for that 58 in North Texas. Thank you for hunting today. This is Kilo 4. Zulu Mike at Kilo 0716.
BenQ.
QRZ. Kilo 4 Mike India. UR56 in Park. Kilo 076. Over.
705. Can't hear the other station right now.
Kilo 4 Mike India. QSL. Thank you for hunting. 73.
Thank you.
This is my last one, guys. Time to head to the next park, so let's do it one more time. This is Kilo 4 Alpha Zulu Mike at Park Kilo 0716. QRZ.
Whiskey Tango 9 Juliet.
Whiskey time.
Still in the BenQ.
Whiskey Tango
705.
9 Juliet. Come. Yeah, Whiskey Tango.
9 Juliet, heavy of 57,
BenQ.
57 Central Illinois.
Thank you for that 57. I got you 59 here in Park Kilo 0716. QSL.
QSL, have a great day out there, 73.
73. Let's go for that mobile, and then I'm going to close up shop. Mobile, are you there? Whiskey 9, Sugar Victoria.
Back
you
to
are
705.
super clear with a 59. Sounds like you're in the car with me here. So, thank you for hunting. I appreciate that. Over. Thank you for that 59 in Wisconsin. I appreciate it, and thank you for hunting today. And thank all of you for hunting me today, and I'm headed to the next park in about another hour and a half.
This is Kilo 4 Alpha Zulu Mike going QR.
Okay, we're still listening to 705, and again, I have the microphone equal distance between the 705 speaker and the BenQ speaker, and I'll show you here. Going back to the radio here. All right, we're on the 705 speaker at the moment. Kind of weak. 705. I mean BenQ speaker, sorry.
Yeah, QSL, George. Yeah, well, there's certainly a lot fewer of my group out here, that's for sure. But
705 speaker.
Anyway, yeah, well, fine business on the 7300. I've got one of those in the
705.
shack as well, and I absolutely love it. That's my the most modern rig that I have, and it's, as you know, it's a FCR type radio. So. Anyway, lots of fun doing this, and we've been blessed with more beautiful weather today. I think it'll be up close to
705.
80, but it is fall, and we have been having some fall weather.
BenQ.
But I think once we get through this little warm spell right here, we'll be back in the fall. We don't have to battle the snow or anything, but
only
I
about an
sure do
S3
like
signal.
fall weather. It's a good break from the summer. Kilo Charlie 3, Whiskey Romeo Hotel. In for OBR.
Yeah, give me your call letters again and your location.
Sure.
705 speaker.
George, it's November 4, Oscar
Thank
Bravo
you.
Romeo, or as some of the guys call it, Old Broken Radio, November 4, Oscar Bravo Romeo. And I'm in the Charleston area, but I'm on an island called Kiowa.
705.
Kiawha Kiowa Island, South
BenQ.
Carolina. QSL?
Roger, I see Miss Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes, sir. Charleston, South Carolina. SC, Sierra Charlie, as they say.
Roger, Roger. Well, listen, it's been great talking to you.
705.
Go back and see if I can catch some of these. Okay, let me get your call sign and part, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. Call sign is Kilo 4 Delta Delta Echo. Part number Kilo 7899.
BenQ.
QSL? Okay, I got you about a 59 North Georgia.
Very weak, but I can hear him.
Okay, signal went down a little bit, but then it come back up. So we're going to give you a 59. Thanks for the contact, 73. Sure, this is Kilo 4 Delta
705.
Delta Echo. Parks on there. Stand by just a second.
I'm going to tune around a little bit. We're still in the 705 speaker.
So, but anyway, thank you, Frank. Again, you're sounding great. Okay, well, I'm going to
BenQ.
turn this beam down straight west, and we're going to stand by for additional check-ins in just a moment. We want to pray for the people on the list,
Pretty
please.
weak signal. Bounce between S1 and S3.
And of course, and then we'll do our devotion by Mikado, and then we will stand by for additional check-ins. So,
Put the volume up a little bit.
on the prayer, please, everybody.
705.
Like I say, I sometimes we're kind of small in numbers, but it's
BenQ.
still powerful enough. So let's pray. Father, Lord Almighty God, we come to glorify you. We thank you so much for that. We thank you that
The BenQ speaker is definitely elevating his voice out of the
on this list that we
out
have,
of this very weak signal. So
put them up to you, lifted them up. And so, Father, we thank you for that. So
705.
much, because we know you are
and we get praise reports from it. Sometimes it's a long time after the prayers went out there, but sometimes that's what you decide. Other times it happens right away. But either way, we're thankful that they happen, period. And
All right, we're going to tune around some more.
You okay?
Still on the 705 speaker. Thank you. Another really weak signal.
Roger. Well, very good. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're in the blue here on the DX10 and pretty good, Rich.
705.
USL on the cooler stuff. I'm
about 75 and probably a little higher than that now.
Thank you.
It was raining. I don't know if it's still raining or not. Over. Weekend coming up, we're going to try to play 10 meters. I think they got a 10-meter party coming up this weekend. I'm not too sure.
705.
there is a DX contest going to go on, and good luck.
Thank
Hey,
you.
10
Definitely hear
meters
the
has
difference.
been open, and yeah, hey, when it's open, it's good.
Yes, it is. I got quite a few. Okay, Mr. Tyler Texas, thank you, man. Blessings to you and the household. Look forward to many more content.
We'll continue tuning around.
Roger, Rich.
We're back on the 705 speaker.
Station, appreciate you, Bill. ABS Tennessee, please come in for the YL system. Okay, the
Thank
Tango
you.
Delta Mobile. Give me the call one more time.
Alpha Zero Tango Delta.
Alpha Zero Tango Delta in the mobile. Hi, me, come on in.
705.
Back home, they got enough rain that
Thank
one
you.
of their parks down by the river is now an aquatic park.
Roger, Tony. What state are you in right now?
Dallas, Texas.
Roger. In the Metroplex of Dallas, Texas. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming aboard this morning, Tony. One of our great 18-wheel mobile
705.
and a member station. Tony, thank you. You're on the log this morning. Number 99.
Thank you.
And right now I'm going to look to see if I can get number 100 on the first period log. Anyone, anywhere, come now.
KG5
705.
KG5CFG, you are number 100,
Oops,
Curtis.
thank you.
Come on in.
No, I'm just sitting right here, me and the dog, man. Listening to the radio, drinking coffee.
That sounds like something I like to do. I get my dog in here, but he likes CW better than he does phone. So, Curtis, we got you on the log, and like I say, you're number 100
705.
in Tulsa. Appreciate you coming aboard. And we'll clear with you, Curtis. You have a great day. This is W8BF. K5FEL. Over to you, Jim.
All right, Ron. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Bravo Foxtrot. There's the Kilo 5. Foxtrot Echo Lima. Whiskey 2, Juliet Lima Delta. Are you there? Whiskey 2, Juliet Lima Delta. Are you there?
Now, real quick, this is where I think, for me at least, the BenQ speaker here, the TreVolo speaker, really shined was with the 705. I can really hear a major difference between listening to the 705 and going to the BenQ speaker, especially with some of the weaker signals, and even with the pretty strong signals. But it's such a very nice listening experience with the BenQ, even with a stronger signal, which may not be so hard to hear on the 705 speaker. But the nice thing about this, if you're doing a POTA or a SOTA or what have you, you can just bring the BenQ speaker, because it has its own battery, just plug it into the 705 through its 3.5 millimeter jack, audio jack, and you pretty much have a way to amplify the audio out in the field or out and about and get rid of some of the noise in the background. So I think the BenQ speaker here could be an excellent accessory for a QRP radio, especially out in the field, because It's well, the speaker's slightly smaller than the 705, and of course the 705 is a bit heavier, especially with my POV cage on it. But again, I think that's where the 705 and this speaker would really shine, is as a combo out in the field. Like I said, I mean, it's got its own battery, helps with bringing up the audio when you're out in the field. Pretty easy to carry, to put on a park bench or what have you. So anyway, let me go back and turn the radio back up here. Let's see, I think we're back on the 70. No, we're on the. Let's go back to the 705 speaker.
Enjoy your day, and we'll look for you next time. I'll clear Kilo Delta 4 Sierra Tango November. That's Joe in California. Kilo 5 Foxtrot Echo Lima. Looking for your check-in. Come now, please.
Still in the 705.
Victor Delta Lima.
BenQ.
Kilo 4 Victor Delta Lima. Come on in here. How you doing, Don? Oh, I'm doing great, Jim. I just sitting here listening up. I heard Ron
705.
in Cleveland, and it's rare that
We'll tune around a little bit. We'll try a little bit stronger signal here.
I just want to jump in here and get on the log there. Over.
Get it out.
Well, maybe you can cancel the order.
The signal's really weak.
Yeah. Well, I
BenQ.
tell you what, it's like that guy that dumped McCarthy out of the speaker job. I don't have an alternate plan. In this case, I don't have an alternate mechanic. Well, maybe you could go to the dealer that he ordered the engine from, and you go to the dealer, that dealer,
705.
there. The only trouble is they don't know what they're doing. They haven't done one before. To be in Massachusetts. I don't know. I think if they sell
BenQ.
diesel Ford trucks, I'm sure they've got a heavy mechanic that deals with that. I don't know. I haven't seen very many engine swaps going on at the dealers' shops.
Obviously a strong signal now when he speaks.
Certain dealers, sell the big trucks, the Ford trucks, but you go to that dealer. Yeah, well, might be a different guy that's getting the engine.
705.
He's just ordering the engine. He doesn't care what it is.
BenQ.
You know how they are. They're very independent. You go to the Ford dealer, his price would have probably doubled. That sells big, heavy trucks and deal with them only. But that's just me. Installation cost would have doubled. You know, that's an extra $5,000 I didn't spend.
705. Turn around here a little bit.
Yeah, I go down and I highlight the TX profile, save.
Still in the 705.
Right, it'll show you every profile,
Thank you.
every setting that needs to be saved if you make a change.
S5, S6 signal.
So if you just did that, now you're running a latest version that show you what you choose, which is really nice. Yeah, I mean it makes them all yellow.
705.
All the stuff that's yellow, and it's on multiple pages.
BenQ.
The box that you referred to, the orange box that pops up and shows you you've made a change and shows you exactly what you changed.
Pretty much no signal, his audio.
Very useful. I'll be back in a sec, boys. I have a phone call, but thank you for the info. No problem.
Okay, back to the 705 speaker.
First period of the file system. This is WAPF. Come now, please.
Still in 705 speaker.
November Tango 8
BenQ.
Foxtrot in the mobile. Come on in. Roger. In the mobile. That's George. November Tango 8 Foxtrot. Sounding good this morning, George. Roger, George. Look forward to it. One of my mile buddies up there, that's
705.
George. November Tango 8 Foxtrot. Thank you, George.
Thank
Member
you.
station, first responder, police, your brother in blue. Thank you, George. We'll be clear with you, George. This is W8BF 7.
All right, that's going to pretty much do it for the 705 for now. But I think you can hopefully hear the difference here, especially in the 705. This is where I think the BenQ, like I said just a little bit earlier, really shines. As you could just take this BenQ speaker out in the field and just plug it into the audio output on the 705 and basically be able to elevate the voice and get rid of some of that background noise while on the field. And you just have to bring the 705 and the BenQ speaker. So pretty awesome combination there, I think. And hopefully you guys could see that or hear that on the video. All right, got some more segments coming up. I know this video is going to be a bit long, but I'm trying to give you as many audio segments as you can between different radios. So we got more coming up here. Okay, we're doing a AM radio check here. I'm on 5049, and amazingly, I just randomly picked this frequency, and I hear Rhea. I think that's her name. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, I'll put it on the screen to correct myself. She also has a YouTube channel for her ham radio, so she's actually here on AM for whatever reason. Not sure why. Maybe some of you would know. But anyway, right now I have it, so we're just going to be listening to the 7300's microphone, or I'm sorry, speaker, and then we're going to go to the BenQ.
I might get on and make a few contacts. I stopped seriously contacting a long time ago. I had antenna problems, and it's just, I don't know.
So that's Rhea or Rhea. Sorry if I mispronounced that. So right now we're on the Icom 7300 speaker. Now we're going to go to the BenQ speaker.
But, serious participation, maybe, you might surprise yourself, to be quite honest. Submit that log. Make sure you upload to Logbook of the World, but wait a week or two, because this way the cheaters...
So this is the BenQ.
...to look at your confirmations, And cheaters never prosper, except that they do, but I don't want to help them any. And I don't think it's a good
7300 speaker.
So, yeah. Other than that, the leaves are falling, and it's getting colder, although it's a little warm here.
BenQ speaker.
I hope you have your pumpkin spice or whatever pleases your fancy. And I hope that you have a good autumn.
So I'm going to try to find another AM station. I'm mainly going to be listening to this for talk stations, just because this is what the speaker is mainly designed for. And also that way I don't get a copyright claim for music. So let's see if we can find another station here.
To do some
Okay, here another AM station. Talk radio. Right now we're listening to the Icom 7300 speaker.
He's from Louisiana. But pray for him, pray for him, pray for him. Folks, I'm telling you, I am
now going to BenQ.
of what I heard in his speech. And he was talking about how his wife had been on her knees praying for some time about all this. This is a praying couple. Matter of fact, there was a photo taken of him in the Capitol, and it was not a photo op. It's him on his knees with some other members of the House.
This is the BenQ speaker, going back to the 7300 speaker.
God is hearing and answering prayer. Don't let him now. So now we're going to go to today's message, which is the severity and goodness of God. And at first blush you think,
BenQ.
well, that's rather a strange title, isn't it? The severity and the goodness of God? You're hooking the severity of God together with the goodness of God?
Big Bang G-Dragon on charges of illegal drug use.
Icom 7300 speaker.
The Incheon Metropolitan Police said on Wednesday that they booked the singer, whose real name is Kwon Ji-young, without physical detention for violating the narcotics law.
BenQ speaker.
Police were quick to add, however, that Kwon's case is unrelated to the drug case involving actor Lee Sun-joon, who was booked on the same charges earlier on Monday. Kwon came under a police investigation back in 2011
7300
on suspicion
speaker.
of using marijuana, but the charges were ultimately dropped. The benchmark Korea stock price index shed 64.09 points, or 2.71% on Thursday, to close the day at 2,299.08. The tech-heavy Kosdaq also fell, dropping 26.99 points, or 3.5%.
Okay, this is just a CB speaker. And we'll go to the BenQ speaker. I was just talking a moment ago. Ooh, the signals actually come from the Caribbean.
Well, I'm going to try and get
CB.
some of the breaks next week, man, or next year.
BenQ.
I'm going to try to get to some of the breaks next year. I want to go to the Louisiana break. And I want to go to one of the breaks out in Florida real bad because I want to meet up with my friend Jimmy Swagger.
CB speaker.
So we'll get to that one of these days. This year I just
BenQ
I
speaker.
had a truck burnt down and had to fix cars and trucks. I really couldn't do nothing but do all that work over here. But we'll get together there, Dr. So we'll meet
So I think you can actually hear the difference between the CB speaker and the BenQ speaker on the 11-meter radio here. CB is always a little rough, so we'll see if he comes back talking here in a minute. We'll go back to the CB speaker. See if he comes back. He's probably listening to the other party.
Yeah, I remember that with Baby Slave Boy. Man, I think I drank too much that weekend.
Now on the BenQ speaker, definitely hear the difference.
I'll try not to drink too much next year.
Now, the thing I've noticed with the 11-meter radio here, I'm using the Uniden 980 SSB. Even if there's a lot of static and I really can't even detect a person in there speaking, I find the BenQ will actually pull a person's voice out of the static. And this is typically severe static where I can't even distinguish a human voice in there. And so I've been pretty amazed that the BenQ speaker here is able to pull out a voice out of severe static on the 11-meter frequencies. Now it's rather weak, but it's definitely more audible than if I just listened to the 11-meter speaker by itself. So turn this back up here and see what we can hear.
They can't wait, man. When this kind of big sun comes up on this 35 miles of water,
We're still in the BenQ. Signal's a little weak now.
with really good conditions.
Go back to the CB speaker. So he's weak. Let's go back to the BenQ.
Oh, hello, right back to you there, Q-Tip. I didn't know I had conditions in Florida. I'm over there talking to,
Still in the BenQ speaker.
Hello to you, Q-Tip out there around the backwoods of Georgia. Fireballs waving.
Back to the CB speaker. Not talking now.
Oh, you can jump in my QSO anytime, Cat Picker. You know, anybody wants to call my radio, man, just, I'll talk to it. The Q-Tip, anybody who calls my radio, you know me, I'll talk to it. Man, it's like 6:30 over here, man. It's 6:43 over here, man. You guys up early over there, 9:43.
All right, well, I think that was a pretty good example here of the audio on the CB or 11-meter radio here. I'll try to see if I can get a couple more. Okay, I found a pretty decent signal here on the 11-meter. Let's go to the CB speaker. On the CB speaker. Hopefully I'll start talking again. It's very hard to find a signal today on the 11-meter radio. We're talking for just a moment. Pretty weak, but you can hear him through the static. CB radio. Very hard to make out. BenQ. Okay, I found a conversation going on in channel 38, lower sideband on CB radio, or 11 meters. So I'll turn this up right now where they are listening to BenQ speaker.
Oh yeah, see? I may look,
Now, he's really strong.
I may be a dumbass, but I'm really not.
Now just the CB speaker. See if the stronger comes back.
I sold a lot of welding machines, industrial gases, and I retired from corporate America.
So this is a really good example of the BenQ TreVolo speaker here on CB radio on a pretty strong signal, but when the louder signal comes in, it really helps with the audio and brings up the signal of the voice. Not so great on the weaker signal.
Well, it's good to hear somebody's communicating with me and has some good common sense.
Okay, right now we're listening to CB speaker. It's kind of a rough signal here. BenQ. There's a lot of noise in the background, but the BenQ seems to be helping bring up the audio of the voice. Back to CB speaker. Pretty rough. Let's go back to BenQ here. Still some noise in the background, but again, you can hear the audio is definitely elevated through the BenQ speaker over what it is with a CB speaker. Yeah. Okay, another frequency here. Let me see if I can tune them in here. Sorry, I have to keep messing with the squelch here. Now we're just on the CB speaker. Had a conversation going here just a moment ago.
Oh man, I've been doing that every day of the week. For the last 2 weeks, I got 3 more weeks left, man.
CB speaker.
Do this stupid
Doctor thing.
BenQ.
This radiation, they radiate just 1 millimeter of skin. I gotta go there every day. Just to get over there to
CB speaker.
to be in this machine or whatever for about 4 minutes. Man. But at least the spot will fall off. Go on there, man, with the bike coat there, I'll just be sitting back here reading the mail or laying that cotton-picking hammer down.
Now, the signal is definitely a strong signal, but again, I think you can hear the difference in the audio between the CB speaker or 11-meter speaker and the BenQ TreVolo speaker. Definitely a nicer listening experience with the TreVolo BenQ speaker.
All right, damn, that got real rough there, man. Somebody said, catch you later, 5 I'll see you, and then somebody else got there.
CB speaker.
The whole world's starting to call me, and the sun ain't even up yet.
BenQ.
Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun.
It's alright.
All right, I think you got a pretty good sound sample there of difference between the radio speaker and the BenQ speaker there. Okay, real quick, we're now listening to the Uniden SDS 100 scanner on the BenQ speaker. Now, I just want to talk about the scanner with the BenQ speaker here a little bit before we got into some samples. Right now I have the volume down to 0, so you're not going to hear anything. So a couple things. The SDS 100, the speaker on it is okay, but there's often been times where I wanted to run an external speaker for this radio here, and obviously the audio output from its external speaker jack is not very good, and so obviously running the SDS 100 through an amplified speaker like the BenQ TreVolo here works out really well. So that's really nice as a portable radio. The BenQ speaker here is obviously rather portable, and you can just bring it. It has its own battery, of course, so it can just plug it in, so that makes it really nice. The other thing is a lot of times when I'm listening to scanner, if it's the public services, a lot of them they're talking on digital, like P25, DMR, these kinds of things. These are digital signals, so they're pretty clear already. So I find that I don't really need to run the audio from the SDS 100 into the TreVolo using the live learning mode, which I have been using for the other radio samples, to pull out the voice, because a lot of times on the digital signals, the voice is crystal clear anyway. But what I do is I put the BenQ TreVolo speaker into music mode, and that way it's just functioning as an external speaker, and it's just obviously as an amplified speaker, it would raise the audio up a bit from what you would hear from the SDS 100. So just wanted to give a brief overview about that. So right now I have it set up that way, so we're just hearing the audio coming out of the SDS 100 into the BenQ speaker in music mode. Now, you could use the live learning mode, which you've been using for radio, in instances where an SDS 100 or another scanner like it is receiving an FM signal. And so that way, that option would be useful in those scenarios. But typically I find for listening around here where my QTH is, most of the signals from the public services are digital, P25 and DMR. And so really in this scenario, just need to use the music mode of the BenQ TreVolo speaker here in order to listen to those.
This is the Highlands County Amateur Radio Club repeater system. The extra class license course is continuing on Saturday through the end of the month from 9 until 1 at Leisure Lakes Baptist Church at Lake Placid. And don't forget the club picnic coming up on Saturday, November 4th on the south side of Spring Lake. With a PL of 100, this is W4HCA, Lake Placid.
Rescue 7 General Illness at 3796 running gear. Rescue 7 General Illness at 3796 running gear. Respond on TAC 1 at 10:35. Health ring.
Minutes away with a 96-year-old female with the chief complaint of left hip pain. No deformities. Started last night. All vitals are within normal limits. BLS has been initiated. Advent clear. Advent, go ahead.
Rescue 12 11 route for the stable medical. I have a 62-year-old female from home. She complains going to be chest pain that radiated to her right jaw and right arm. She's probably unremarkable. ALS has been established. I do have nitro and aspirin on board. We'll be there in about 5 to 7. Do you require any further?
Advent clear.
Okay, final thoughts on the BenQ TreVolo U crystal clear desktop dialogue speaker. Overall, I like the speaker. I really like its TreVolo voice engine, especially for radio. As I said, and hopefully you saw this in the audio clips, it does help bring up and raise up the human voice over the background, which is very useful. Hopefully, again, like I said, hopefully you saw that in the clips on the ham radios, CB radio, and even the scanner. Overall, the design, I would like to see perhaps a black. The white and the blue is nice, but I would prefer for dirt and stuff like this for it to be black, maybe like black with a gray grill or something like that. I do like the big rubber foot pad so it doesn't slide around really easily. I mean, even the desktop, I mean, it doesn't really want to move, which is nice. I think this TreVolo speaker really shined with the Icom 705. I really like that I can pretty much just bring my 705 out to the field or wherever I am with a 3.5 millimeter, just plug it into the 705. And I think in the audio clips you saw that it really helped raise up the audio and make it much clearer to hear and understand on the 705. And I think I hopefully had audio clips that showed you that on all the other radios. You know, this all depends on the band conditions, so sometimes the band conditions are conducive, sometimes not. If you've been in radio for a long time, you know this, so it's not a new thing. And like I said, with a scanner, I think it's helpful to have an amplified portable speaker that's battery powered that you can just plug in, like the SDS 100 that's still running here in the background. So I think it's really beneficial for that. Like I said previously in the scanner clip here with the SDS 100, for the scanners, I would say most of the time if you're listening to digital modes like public services, police, fire, this kind of things, I would say most of the time you just listen to the BenQ speaker in music mode. But like here in Highlands County, Florida, the main fire dispatch frequency is actually a 2-meter frequency, and sometimes there's some static and things in the background. And in that scenario, having the TreVolo in the live learning mode, which is the mode we've been using for radio throughout all the audio clips, would be extremely useful. So you just have to adjust it on the fly. And nice thing, you can just change the modes here, as I showed you earlier in the video, right here on the speaker, making it very easy. So, and again, the speaker can be used for Zoom, FaceTime, Microsoft Teams. Now, I haven't tested it with any of these things, but from my understanding, you should be able to use this with those as a speaker and a microphone, so just something to keep in mind. So it does have other uses besides radio, obviously. But I want to say a big thank you to BenQ for sending me the TreVolo U speaker here to show here on the channel. Just so you know, guys, I don't make any money from presenting this video. I don't make any money from the links, but there will be a link to BenQ's website, and there will also be a link to this speaker on Amazon, okay? Now, real quick, I didn't know who BenQ was, but when we bought an Apple Mac Mini, and we needed a screen for it. And so my sons and I were going through trying to find a 4K screen or whatever, and we came across a BenQ. And from my understanding, BenQ makes a really good, high-quality monitor and screen. And so our monitor for our Mac Mini is actually a BenQ. So when they reached out to me, I already knew who BenQ was as a company because I was familiar with them for my monitor, our 4K monitor that we have. So for those of you who may not be aware, BenQ does make other products. You might want to check them out. Again, their link will be in the description. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining from another radio. I hope to bring you more videos like this of products that you could use for ham radio or other things like solar. I'm doing some pretty big solar projects coming up here, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss those videos. Appreciate you guys. You guys take care and have a good one.
Darling, I've been tempted by the darkness.